Then we've got another major release from Ronin Dojo, v2.0.0. This, I'm not quite sure. There were no actual release notes hang on to this, so maybe you have some more info on this. But the only info that was there was that they've switched from Manjaro to Debian, and then also they've changed the PGP key files. So I think there's a PGP key from the Ronin Dojo support team, and also from Zelko, BTCxZelko, that they've switched to their keys. Is that correct?
Yeah, that is correct. I actually haven't had chance to speak to the team around the reason for switching from Manjaro. Obviously, Manjaro is more of a less used Linux distribution. Here we go. I've just booted the tweet up. So Manjaro is notorious for its rolling releases and bleeding edge changes. While it's nice to stay ahead of the curve, we suffer from tons of headaches with updates and Ronin Dojo upgrades. This isn't the stability we're looking for in a node, and looked at other options. So yeah, they've moved away to something a little bit more stable that kind of, I guess, is a bit more cautious with updates, which obviously the fallout from that for the end users is increased stability by moving over to Debian distribution, which is like the most commonly used one and the more widely adopted one.
Does this mean you'd be able to run this on a Linux laptop, or do you still have to have it on dedicated hardware?
It will still be dedicated hardware for now, because you can still run Manjaro on a x86 laptop or desktop infrastructure. It's more just how the guys build the project to suit that kind of architecture. So I don't think that this change ungates that for now.
Okay. Do you think that's something that's going to happen with more of these node packages?
Oh yeah,
over time.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because it seems a bit mad to me. I've got this same laptop as you, and it kind of just sits there. I always think it's sat there, it's running anyway. I feel then stupid having Raspberry Pis sat next to it, whirring away, making a load of noise, being irritating, and it just feels a bit weird to have it running, and it's got all the power in the world to run these things, but you can't.
Yeah, I think that we've already started to see a concerted effort towards that. I think that'll continue. Ronin Dojo seem to be bucking that trend. I will say that they've said for years that x86 is coming, and I don't doubt that it will. But they use slightly different hardware, don't they? They use the Rock Pro 64, which is slightly beefier than the standard Raspberry Pi that you would run. So they tend to suffer much less from reliability issues, as well as the fact that obviously they run less software because it's a more focused project compared to some of the more I guess kitchen sink approaches, if you like. So those two things coupled together mean that the push for x86 in the Ronin Dojo architecture probably hasn't been as concerted as elsewhere, because it hasn't been as needed, especially with the release of the Tanto with custom built case and whatnot. Overheating just isn't really a thing anymore for those guys. So
yeah, mine's been rock solid.
So I'm sure it will come. But I know that they're focused heavily on the plug and play architecture to get this in as many non-technical hands as possible. So I'm sure it will come, but just not yet.